Welcome back to another episode. How's it going, everybody? I'm YouTube Trev. Joining me today, we have Jeremy Hellischuk, as always, and we've got a first-time guest on the show. We've got a big episode coming your way, so we have a lot of things we're going to discuss. Kylee Quinn, she's joining us, and that's Kylee Quinn right here. Give a round of applause, round of clicks for Kylee Quinn, Marketing and Communications Director at Hockey Edmonton. So we got a really good episode coming your way. We're going to be discussing Minor Hockey Week in Edmonton, the 61st, I believe. That's crazy. 61st annual Quikcard Minor Hockey Week here in Edmonton. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, thank you as always. Drop a comment down below, leave a like, and with that out of the way, Jeremy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's great to be back, and it's a beautiful day. Another good week of Oiler hockey.
It was a solid week.
Yeah, exactly. And kicking off a great week or great 10 days here. We're well into a great 10 days of hockey all around. This is a great time of year for us, so definitely an exciting time, and it's almost that unofficial halfway point of the year for us organizationally. I mean, for those that have played in the system and in Hockey Edmonton, Minor Hockey Week is that midway point, and again, that just symbolizes that halfway point. It's a nice, just coming back after Christmas, and we're halfway through the season and down that home stretch.
Yep, absolutely beautiful Saturday morning. So thank you for tuning in, guys. We're going to have a good one coming your way. And without further ado, Kylee Quinn, let's get you some airtime here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, this is going to be a good show. Thank you for joining us. Before we quickly introduce yourself, we're just going to set up today's show and just give a quick preamble. Jeremy, this is, as you said, the unofficial halfway point of the year. It's the 61st year that this tournament's been going on. And just to maybe talk about the Minor Hockey Week, give a quick preview of the age groups.
So this is an event that runs from our U9 all the way up to our U18 participants. And in our community programs as such. And it runs until next Sunday. So next weekend, this is the first weekend of the tournament. So really the real exciting time, and then it just continues to build to here until next Saturday and Sunday over at Terwilliger for championship weekend. And so, like you said, 61 years, anybody that's played hockey in Edmonton that is listening, it has played in this tournament. They know how big of an experience it is. And we'll delve into it as we go through the show and such, and some of my experiences as well in that.
No, for sure. Yeah, just from just around the office this past week, a lot of our shows had mentioned it. So, it's a pretty big name. And obviously, after 61 years, that it makes sense. Reed Wilkins was discussing it 2 days ago, I guess, on his show. So without further ado, should we dive into the quick facts? And we're gonna get a really good grasp of what the Hockey Edmonton, Minor Hockey Edmonton Week is, and no better person to do that than Kylee Quinn. So maybe just tell us the number of teams that are involved in this event.
Yeah, so as Jeremy mentioned, if you've grown up playing hockey at Edmonton, you're very familiar with Quikcard Edmonton Minor Hockey Week. You know the scale of it, but if you're not, it's quite impressive. Like, it's not your typical tournament. We've got 688 teams. Phenomenal number. There's 914 games that are going to be played. There's over 10,000 players.
Holy.
It is a massive tournament. Yeah. And then it all comes down to that final weekend where we've got 63 champions that will be crowned.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's massive.
Those numbers, I can't even fathom how many, that's... wow. Yeah, that actually is astonishing.
It's actually one of the largest and longest running tournaments in the world, ice hockey tournaments. We used to have a Guinness World Record. So it's pretty cool that Edmonton has that title.
Yeah, no, I'd say so for sure. You talk about the players, but maybe the people that are involved in this tournament as well, the volunteers, maybe you could shed some light on maybe the numbers of volunteers.
Yeah, there's hundreds of volunteers.
Yeah,
yes, there's hundreds. I don't know the exact number. It changes a little bit from year to year. But we have arena managers in all 24 arenas across the city and in the outskirts. They all have people that are selling our buttons. So our admission button is only $5, gets you into all the games all week long, all 10 days, gets you free coffee at McDonald's and free skate sharpening at Unite Cycle. So our button sellers, we're very appreciative of those volunteers. We have our timekeepers, our scorekeepers, and then of course that championship weekend. It's at Terwilliger Arena, so we're on all 4 sheets of ice all weekend long, like from 8 in the morning until 10 at night, that Saturday and that Sunday. So there's like an army of volunteers that come to help with all of those award ceremonies.
Unbelievable. Yes. That's some pretty neat stuff right there. So I'm just thinking, so you've got all the age groups and whatnot. I'm just curious as far as the champions go, like what does that all entail?
Oh, to get down to that final game
Yes.
is pretty intense. Maybe you want to talk about that.
Well, yeah, from my perspective, I've coached it, I've obviously played it, won and lost in those finals, both sides. And I think, as we talk about, potentially even just hopping a little bit ahead here and talk about the tournament itself. And so for those that don't know why this is such an experience as a whole and why people have that memorable amount is just the way the tournament is set up as a whole. This isn't your regular tournament per se. So at the start, you're guaranteed 2 games. And what does that mean is for those that lose that first game, there is a way to still get to that final weekend. But after that game, after your first game, unfortunately, if you lose, you're done. The winner keeps going on, and this is all done in 10 days. One of the things that really makes this also unique and really quite the experience is the fact that, you do run, that clock runs, and it is a runtime tournament. So again, you want to bring your A game here as a whole. And then probably the most unique part of this tournament and where the memories truly are made besides winning and losing is the overtime format. So for those that don't know, we have to obviously have winners. We have a set time because, again, we use 39 sheets of ice in 24 arenas. So we got to make sure that the games keep on going quickly. And so our overtime scenario is you start at 5-on-5 for a minute, then go to 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, 1-on-1. And this is where those 2-on-2 and 1-on-1s is probably where Minor Hockey Week really differentiates itself in terms of the tournaments and such and the intensity, because when you get to those situations, you get those unique situations. So when I was coaching U13, so Pee Wee years ago, and you've heard me reference this great group of kids that I used to coach, we went down to 1-on-1 overtime in the playoff or in Minor Hockey Week in the semifinals. And essentially what happened is we were the road team, and because we were a lower seed, and the other team had for the last change. Typically what you see in those times is coach is going to pull the goaltender to make it a 2-on-1. So for us, our goaltender, our centerman, one of our best, one of our great players. We had a lot of great players there, but our centerman, I'll throw a shout out to him, Ethan Eng. He did a great job in making sure that we kept the shots to perimeter. Our goaltender, Brady Weiss, made the one save that he needed to. They only got one shot on him. And then that meant that the faceoff was in our end again, 2-on-1. We decided that sent over one of our better players, another of our great players, Braden Gordo over. And it was weird because the coach actually, instead of having his defenseman cover the center portion of the ice, he moved him back toward the boards. So right as soon as we saw that, told our D-man to push the puck forward. And as he did that, we started to pull the goaltender, because at this point, for those that have been in it, know that when you're down 2-1, it's mostly inevitable that they're going to get more scoring chances. So let's try to go on the attack. So sure enough, goaltender leaves. Our player pushes it. We didn't actually need the other forward to hop back on the ice because Braden was already on a breakaway at center ice and slid it into the empty net. And what was memorable about this is that whole run for these kids is, number one, I'm friends with their families and friends with their the kids and such. And so I remember when their last game at midget AAA, the group of them that still stuck around, because at that age, some go to the Alberta Junior Hockey League. We had some of them in there. We had some in the Western Hockey League. But the vast majority of them were playing on that final U18 AAA team. And, sadly, they lost in the playoffs. And we were chatting about that, and that's still one of their biggest memories is winning that Minor Hockey Week championship. And the fact is that was their last kick at it as well, because again, when you get to U15 at the time, it was, you weren't, like, if you were in the club system, you weren't participating in Minor Hockey Week at that point. And so there were a ton of kids. We only had one kid that actually won before that, our other goaltender. And so again, what I actually ended up doing with these guys is I had them bring any of their family members that had medals as well in, and just to show how hard it is. But just the pride, and the parents, we still talk about it today. The kids still talk about it today. And again, for me, one of the best memories was watching after Braden scored. It ended up being right in front of the parents to celebrate. And I wish I had the camera phone out to take that picture, watching the team celebrating in front of the parents as much as they were enjoying, the team was enjoying. It was one heck of a run. And yeah, it was a great time from a coaching perspective. And again, I've coached a lot of teams, obviously show favorite Greg Terry, same thing. We coached at Minor Hockey Week in Midget, and that was some of their best experiences that they had winning that tournament. And for me, same thing. Like, I remember winning and I remember losing in my last 2 years. And again, just, that euphoria of winning, and every team has a chance. We were okay when the year I won it. We were okay. But at the end of the day, we played well. We believed in what the coaches told us, and we got there and won. And again, just that excitement is something that I don't forget at all, both from a player and a coach perspective.
You bet. I think a lot of people actually refer to it as the Stanley Cup of minor hockey because it's so difficult to get to that final game. And it's funny because we've chatted with a couple of Oilers alumni who grew up in Edmonton, like Randy Grigg, Mark Fistrick, and they say that one of their top memories, even though they've played in the NHL and they've been all over the world playing hockey, is their minor hockey days. Yeah. Like, looking back on that moment, especially if you've won, it's like such a huge accomplishment.
I could imagine so. Like, this is fascinating stuff to me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm new to the city. I've been in Edmonton for 2 years now. We had nothing like this. Like, nothing. So I'm getting goosebumps. Like, I could only imagine. I had some really cool moments playing minor hockey growing up that have just stuck with me still. But like, what you guys are just saying right now, like, I can't imagine the pressure for the kids, but I can just see, I've seen parents get involved before and coaches, but like you're just alluding to, I can imagine, like, it's not just the players. Like, I feel like everyone is on their feet. Like, they just get so involved. Hey,
especially those OT games.
Yeah.
It is chaos. Like, it is fun.
Absolutely.
The arenas are bumping.
And I could imagine so. That is something I quickly want to touch on. So, Jeremy, you said it goes from 5 minutes of overtime.
1 minute per.
So
per
it's
shift.
5 on 5, then
4
on 4,
3 on 3, 2 on 2, 1 on 1, and then every minute it still stays on 1 on 1 until there's a winner. Yeah.
Quickly, for some listeners that maybe out of the loop, just like myself. So I'm just like, when the play's going, and as soon as at the minute mark, someone's off. Just like
there'll be another face-off. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like whistle's done. Yeah. Okay, so whistle.
So there'll be a
buzzer
face-off, and it's funny because even like we talk about one-on-one, I remember coaching as a goalie coach with the same age level, but a few years before that, and I remember our coach actually pulled the goaltender. We had a face-off down at the other end, pulled the goaltender at 2 on 2, and sure enough, sent the 3 kids that ended up going over were some of the best kids in there. I mean, Cole Lineker was one of them from a Northeast zone. He played in the WHL as well as the Golden Bears and such. And yeah, they ended up scoring right off the bat. And that was one of the first things that our coach. So again, Northeast zone, shout out to coaching legends out there, Byron Swab. And he came up and he chatted. He's like, yeah, so I wonder what the perception of that was. And I'm like, yeah, it was quite interesting reception from the parents in the stands. But I mean, at the end of the day, it made sense why you did it.
Strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to have some.
Get 3 on 2 at that point. It's why not go for the kill when you have the face-off down there?
Yeah.
It's either the best decision you make or the absolute worst pulling your goalie at that point.
Yeah.
You're a hero, or it's like, oh.
It's like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Real
you
make
lose
or
it
break.
all on that. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's really cool. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more because I have some questions. Like, when did that start? How did that start? Has that always been the case? And we're going to go into the history of the good old Quickcard Minor Hockey Week because I'm super intrigued. So that is awesome. Wow, I'm just we're off to a great start here. I guess with that being said, maybe we could dive into the history if that works. So maybe explain how Minor Hockey Week started here in Edmonton.
Yeah, so since you didn't grow up playing hockey in Edmonton, this will be new to you, but it's also new to
a lot of
people of our age because this was how hockey in Edmonton was back in the 50s, 60s, whatever.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you played in your community league and you only played with your neighboring community leagues. So if you lived on the north side, you didn't cross the river to go play the kids on the south side. You only played the teams around you. So I guess hockey had exploded so much in that time. There were like 5 or 6 teams within your area. It's a little tighter now and with tiering and whatnot. So back then, these 4 iconic hockey dads from Edmonton thought, wouldn't it be so cool if we could get our teams to play other teams? And so Vern Davis, Eric Riley, Don McCombie, George Reith, they came up with this idea, let's play the other teams on the other side of the city. So that's how it all started. And it's exploded. It's really exploded.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm just thinking about it as well because being new to the city, I remember when I first moved here, I saw a video on, I forget, it was one of the social platforms, but I'm just like, it was in Edmonton. I know it was in Edmonton and it was like a one-on-one situation. And I'm just like, so this is exactly what you guys are referring to. And the crowd just went nuts. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. So yeah, it has absolutely taken off and it's pretty cool. I guess, so that was a little bit of the idea behind it was just to get, let's get Edmonton, all of Edmonton involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also like to tell this story too, because the kids these days just don't quite understand, but all of the games used to be played outdoors. They didn't have all the facilities that we do now. So all of these games were played out when it was, minus 10, 15, 20. Yeah. You just toughed it out. So.
Yeah. You hear the
fun
stories.
Stuff. The early days of Minor Hockey Week for sure.
Super cool. I love that. I love the creativity. Maybe actually, could we just touch on this because I am super fascinated by this idea of the 5-on-5, 4-on-4. Do you know when that started and what was it? Was it just like, hey, like we should maybe try this, give this a go, and it kind of just stuck?
I think those iconic hockey dads were the ones that dreamt this up. So I think from the inception, if I'm remembering the stories that have been passed down to me correctly, it's been almost the entire time, if not the entire time. So it's really what sets it apart from other tourneys. Absolutely.
It definitely does separate itself from other tournaments. I love the creativity. You're kind of seeing, I think that's what makes this really unique. The NHL, it's changes rules, once in a blue moon, but you got the PWHL who's implementing new rules every season. And I love the creativity of just adding new rules. And this is so different compared to anything I've ever heard before. But Bill Ross, Jeremy, maybe you want to touch on this quickly?
Oh, Kylee, she is our expert in Minor Hockey Week, but Mr. Central definitely is one of our icons. And again, if you were seeing any of the coverage of the press conference on Wednesday, he continues to be a strong supporter. He is always at the arenas. And again, just one of those great volunteers for our organization, him and his wife. And they've really been that core Minor Hockey Week volunteer. But Kylee can definitely explain the story of Mr. Central.
Mm-hmm. I also want to say one more quick thing before I forget. I will totally forget. Another really cool aspect about Minor Hockey Week was that everybody had to play their 2 shifts. They used to have checkers to make sure that kids weren't just getting, sitting on the bench. Right. So that was also a really cool piece about it. But Bill Ross, so he had been a volunteer for 50 years, I believe, with Minor Hockey Week. He retired not too far off in the past here, but he's 91 years old. And like Jeremy said, he's still going out to the rinks. He's still so involved. So just so cool to see somebody who is that age and is still so dedicated and passionate about this event. Just goes to show you like how much this touches people who grew up in Edmonton playing hockey. So story about Mr. Central is that back in the day, they had Central headquarters. Central is what it's called. And it was like a war room style. They had, this is really awesome, rotary phones that had, this is technology at the time, special like lines on it so that you could have multiple people calling in on these rotary phones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And every single arena in the city would have to call in their scores after each game. And so they had this giant like floor to ceiling bracket and schedules and stats on the walls. And Bill was the lead of it, Bill Ross. So he got the nickname Mr. Central because he was just so organized, like meticulous with details in Central headquarters. So really sweet legacy. And at the press conference, we had his old rotary phone, and it was so heartwarming when he walked in. I said, Bill, see if you notice anything on the table there. We had some memorabilia out, and he almost started tearing up when he was like, oh, my phone. Like, it just has such a special place for him, thinking of 50 years of minor hockey weeks that he volunteered, answering the calls from all the arenas on that rotary phone. So pretty cool.
And that's a testament to the work he did as well during that time. If you think of anybody that has volunteered to run a tournament, so again in minor hockey, whether it's our SWAT teams, our Northeast Zone, the South Side Athletic Club, all these organizations, they run tournaments. White Mud Hawks, all of them run tournaments. That is, confined to maybe one arena, maybe two or a couple. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of games across the city. And yeah, sadly, we have not grown that many arenas in Edmonton, but you're still talking 20 some odd arenas. And again, that's how Minor Hockey Week kept track of who went on, the scheduling, all of that. That was all done by hand over the phone. We don't have the technology that we have today, is probably 15, 20 years maybe. That's how for 40 some odd years the tournament had been organized. So again, the testament to his team and such. And again, there's definitely news articles there. I remember the Journal writing an article on him a few years ago and such. So again, anybody has a chance and wants to see or read some interesting history on Edmonton Minor Hockey Week, definitely look for articles on Bill Ross and Mr. Central.
Awesome stuff there. Wow, that's great. We've talked at length through the Hockey Edmonton show, first few episodes that we had, Jeremy, just making it feel as special as possible. And I feel like that's exactly what Bill Ross did there, and is still continuing to do for all the kids. You had mentioned Mark Fistrick, the four dads. It's ingrained in the community of Edmonton. So that's really, really cool stuff right there. This is the Hockey Edmonton show. We are discussing the Quikcard Minor Hockey Week. It's been a really good start to the episode so far. Kylee Quinn, thanks, is joining us for right now, Marketing and Communications Director at Hockey Edmonton. And as always, Jeremy Halischuk, to my right. So I'm still like, I want to learn. Like I'm still, this is new to me. So maybe we could just talk a little bit more of the process on the whole tournament. If you could touch on that, what the games are, double elimination at the start, if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So again, we go back to the tournament itself. So again, every team has the opportunity to play two games at the bare minimum. So if you lose that first game, you go down a different bracket. If you win that first game, you go down a different bracket. Once you get past that first game, then it becomes single elimination at that point. So again, that's the uniqueness of the tournament. You can make. We recognize that you can make a mistake early on in that first game, sometimes the jitters, whatever. But from there on in, then it's 3 or 4 or 5 more games left, and then you get to the final and such.
Right on. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit early there, but Kylee, would you be able to touch on maybe some interesting historical tidbits that we can share about the tournament as a whole?
I've got one more story.
Yes,
and
please.
I have
Let's
to
hear
just
it. Let's
preface
hear it.
this with I'm a terrible storyteller, and I feel like I'm not going to do this justice. But Vern Davis, one of the founders, I heard this story from his son, Daryl Davis, who was one of the longtime volunteers and organizers of the event after his dad and those iconic hockey dads sort of moved on. So Daryl told me that back in the 60s, his dad knew that the Jets were in town, and he called up Hotel McDonald. He got through to Bobby Hull's room. Bobby Hull answers the phone, and Mr. Davis, Vern Davis, says, we've got this massive hockey tournament going on. Would you want to come hand out medals today? It's been so hard to get to the finals. It would mean so much to the kids if you came. And he was like, yeah, sure. And so Vern goes in his Cadillac to Hotel McDonald. Bobby Hull comes out. He drives them over to the finals. And I guess Bobby Hull was just having a blast and interacting with all the families and the kids and handing out medals. And he got so carried away, he ended up being late to get back to practice. And he got in trouble, apparently, when he went for his morning skate or afternoon skate, whatever it was. So, yeah, pretty cool.
That's amazing stuff. Oh, leave a like, guys. That's great stuff right there. Oh, that puts a smile on my face for sure.
Cool.
To either Jeremy or Kylee, just maybe we can touch on the role of the volunteers. It's so much going on. If you guys want to shed some light on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as Kylee alluded to, it starts with our arena managers who are the heartbeat of those arenas and organizing organizing the whole aspect in that area. So again, we talk about they provide gifts for the kids when they first come in there, correct? They're responsible for tracking and getting the scores inputted into the system and getting those scores to us. Again, managing their volunteers, those that are selling the buttons and such, and making sure that that side is all looked after. So again, that's the heartbeat of our organization right there in this tournament is those arena managers. And then we go on to, again, the team that works under them. So again, we have people that sell the buttons. We have people that provide, that manage the timekeepers box and such. And such. So again, there's a slew of volunteers that help out, and a lot of these are the parents and such. And again, we can't thank them enough for making sure that this tournament goes on, in this manner and such, without that hard work that they provide. So again, those are some of those great volunteers. And obviously, you go through our normal course of volunteers, our coaches, officials, and such. They obviously have a huge role in this as well, in terms of, again, just making sure that the kids are playing the game appropriately, effectively, all of those fun things. So again, there is a huge army that helps ensure this tournament goes on without a hitch. Anything else to add there?
I guess there's so many volunteers that have been around for so long, and it just goes to show you how this tournament is so important to everybody in Edmonton, and people want to see the legacy of it continue, and they don't want to leave. It's hard these days to find volunteers sometimes when you're planning events, and especially an event of this scale across so many different venues. You're not just in one spot with one team of volunteers. It's hundreds of volunteers across the city, right? And you've got people that come back year after year after year, and they've got their families that have gotten involved. And my mom was an arena manager. Now little Timmy, who's grown up, is now the arena manager for that spot. And it's just so awesome to see the history, the tradition, the legacy, even with the volunteers. So yeah, it's really, really awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And Kylee, I forgot I mentioned marketing and communications director, but I'm just curious. I have a little bit of a marketing background. That's what I took at Lethbridge College. Are you guys doing anything different to maybe get more teams, or it's kind of just like word of mouth? Everyone knows about it at this point. It's just like, okay, this is the time of the year. Sign me up. I'm in.
Well, I guess you have to be from Edmonton or Edmonton area.
Yes.
Yes. So it's kind of like an invitational, but based on the geography, right? We're not. This isn't a
You're not going to expand anymore.
No. This is for Edmonton players. This is our tournament.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so over the 61 years, everyone knows about it. They're all dialed in and they want to be in this.
Yeah. And at the beginning, it was just strictly Edmonton proper, and it's expanded to include what we call interlocks, but it's, the suburb, the surrounding area. So we've let them in, but no, this is exclusive to YEG.
Super cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then just quickly, what is it? Yeah, I think you mentioned it's medals that are awarded to the winning teams, or is it a championship game? They can receive medals.
Yes, so it comes down to that final game, and you get your silver medal or your gold medal, and it's always heartbreaking when you get to that point and you're handing out the silver medals to the kids, and they're so crushed because it is so tough to get to that point.
Yeah.
But all of our players receive coupons from McDonald's. They're such a great partner. So whether you make it to the finals or not, every single player gets a coupon. And then the Oil Kings have been such a fantastic partner. All of our silver and gold medalists and volunteers get tickets to an Oil Kings game. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Awesome. That's great stuff there. Yeah.
You
It's
still
never-
win even if you don't get the gold medal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get your coupon, you get your Oil Kings game, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I can imagine there's some pretty intense stories with the kids. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's never,
guess so, yeah.
never fun to lose,
No.
especially in the gold medal. But that's a really good point there. You're still a winner at the end of the day. So this is the Hockey Edmonton Show. I'm YouTube Trev. We got Kylee Quinn joining us. Pretty soon we'll be joined by Lyle Best, honorary chair of Quickcard Minor Hockey Week. We'll be discussing a few things with him, get to know him a little bit. If you're new to the show, leave a like, drop a comment down below. We really appreciate you guys tuning in this wonderful Saturday morning. It's actually not that bad out today. So just beyond the tournament we go. I guess there's a few things it's not just the tournament itself, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Kylee can highlight some of the things that have already happened and what's going on this weekend. And in preparation for championship weekend next weekend.
Yeah, so as we were waiting to get started here, I was chatting with Gazzola, and he's someone that's been in the media game forever. So traditionally, they had Edmonton Sports Media versus Oilers alumni game to kick off the whole thing. Dusty, the whole gang used to come out and play in this. And
I've definitely heard them, so that's what they are.
Yeah.
They refer to it quite a bit. Okay,
yeah,
well, there you go.
It gets pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Laddie, always
Okay, yeah.
fighting with the guy. So yeah, it used to be really fun. It was a really cool way to kick off the 10 days of hockey. And this year we decided to change things up a little bit. And again, the Oil Kings are just such a great community partner. They're always volunteering. They're just so much more than hockey. The Oil Kings just do it so well. Kevin Radomski. We're giving shout outs earlier. I'm going to give a shout out to Kevin Radomski at the Oil Kings because he's just such a phenomenal person for the hockey community here. But we approached him to do something a little different this year. And he said, why don't we do the opening ceremony at an Oil Kings game? And so on Wednesday, we had our opening ceremony with the Oil Kings. It's pretty awesome.
Super cool.
And it's really cool because Cole Miller, who's on the Oil Kings, he grew up playing here in Edmonton. He won Minor Hockey Week, actually, too. So such a full circle moment to have all of our players out on the ice with the Oil Kings and doing a puck drop with Cole Miller, who's now in the dub, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's really cool there. I love that. I love the local ties, and like I said, that's going to continue. Like they're going to carry those memories forever. So it means a lot to Cole Miller, and no, that's some great stuff right there. The Wayne Gretzky Awards, I believe that is also another, adage to the tournament as well.
Yeah. So it's a really important part of the whole Quickcard Edmonton Minor Hockey Week event is giving out the Wayne Gretzky Awards. So it's awarded to 3 players each year, one from EFHL, which is the Federation League, one from Elite, and one player from Junior. And it's all about recognizing players' accomplishments, not only on the ice, but also how they're giving back to the community and just really being leaders in all facets, right?
Sure.
I think it's so important when we think of hockey and the lessons you learn. It's not just about playing the game. It's about how can you become a better person after this. And one day you might not be playing hockey, but hopefully you're always a good person and you take those lessons that you learn playing the game, right? So this is about rewarding those players that are becoming leaders in the community already at a young age. And Hockey Edmonton provided a $1,000 scholarship this year to those 3 players. So really, really cool accomplishment to win that. Another little cool tidbit about the Wayne Gretzky Awards is each of the 3 trophies are exact replica molds of the Wayne Gretzky statue outside Rogers.
Oh, that's cool.
And there were only 6 molds made by the original artist of the real statue.
Wow.
And once the 6 molds, so 3 of them are with the Wayne Gretzky trophies, the molds were destroyed. And so they'll never have an exact replica of the main statue ever again, apparently. So, yeah.
Wow.
Those things are heavy.
Oh yeah, no, for
Oh
sure.
my gosh, yeah.
That is that's amazing stuff right there. We've talked at length. That's kind of been the staple of the show throughout the first 19 episodes. Hockey, it makes we like making pretty good players in Edmonton, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is making good people. And we've had some tremendous guests on our show to talk about that for the first 19 episodes. But Jeremy, anything else to add there?
Well, I think one of the more exciting things, and again, we'll let Kylee explain it, is what we're doing with our U9 program this year. So this is happening this weekend, folks. And like I said, Kylee will go into a little bit more detail of what we're doing with our U9 group.
So U9's just regulation in Alberta, Hockey Alberta. They don't, when they compete in Minor Hockey Week, it's not a win or lose. You don't get a medal. It's just about playing the game and having fun. So to make it still exciting for them, we always have a special U9 weekend. So this year, all weekend long, we're going to be at Cattail Crossing, and we're doing, we're calling it the Quikcard Edmonton Minor Hockey Week U9 Pond Hockey Extravaganza, because we went and did a site visit earlier this week. And if you haven't been to Cattail in the winter, it is so cool. I was blown away. Like, Cattail's fun in the summer. You go and do glow in the dark, like night golf. I don't know if you've done that, but so it's awesome. But now they've stepped it up and they've got pond hockey. And so they've created 20 mini rinks on the pond, and there's like ice pathways to connect each rink, and it's just going to be so fun. So all of our families, we told them, bring skates, because while your kids are skating and playing their games, you can be skating on the pathway to watch and hang around, do some skating yourself. So it's going to be awesome. There's fire pits. They've got some treats and like hot chocolate and whatnot in the beverage carts, and it's really cool. Oh, and they've got winter mini golf out there too. So when you come down, it's not just the U9 game. There's like so much to do there. It's like a magical little winter wonderland that we're going to be playing out. And pond hockey's just fun, like being out in the fresh air, and it's going to be so cool.
No, for sure. Back home, we don't get any. The pond very rarely freezes because of all the Chinooks we have, so it's pretty dangerous. But I've been on the pond a little bit here, and I can't get over the amount of ODRs Edmonton has. I just moved, found a new place. There's like a block away. There's an ODR. I've been spending so much time, so I love getting out. It's like the best thing, absolutely. But just one last question. I believe Lyle should be joining us pretty soon here. But you see it. I kind of mentioned it. You're constantly adapting, and I'm just like, I'm curious, is there any limits for this week? Like, are you guys, every year, is this set in stone? Are there new rules? Are there new things that you want to implement? Are there new things you want to bring in? Or it's like, because that's what I'm finding. It's it's a new year, let's try something different.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, there's that historical element, and there's some things you don't want to change. Like, that's the way it is, and it's really cool and it's really fun. Like the OT format is iconic.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
No, you
absolutely.
don't want it, right? But things like changing it up and partnering with the Oil Kings to do our opening ceremony with them. This outdoor pond hockey, like we like to try new things and always open to feedback and making it still special while having that same traditional piece involved.
Yeah, I think for us, it's overall organizationally, we want to obviously continue to push the bar on this marquee event for us. Again, when we talk about a lot of the great things that Edmonton Minor Hockey does, Hockey Edmonton does, this, though, is the one thing that is synonymous with Hockey Edmonton, and that is Minor Hockey Week. And again, it's funny because we talk about the attention it's gotten in historically. Routinely we would see back in the day media there every every game there was always highlights. And again, this year, I think through Kylie's good work, we've gotten a really lot of traction in the media here. Again, you folks over here at Edmonton Sport Talk Radio have been beneficial and had us on the program, so we appreciate that. And again, like I said, we really want to highlight this event. And it's actually funny because my counterpart in Calgary, he talks about how the city has really embraced this. The media in the city has really continued to embrace this despite some of the challenges in the industry and such, but it's still been embraced as something that's really the good thing about hockey in Edmonton, and that's Minor Hockey Week.
Yeah. And as you had mentioned there, Kylie, this is kind of like the Stanley Cup for kids. Like I can't wrap my head around it. Like being in tournaments, I think that for me, I don't even think it's a hot take, but growing up playing hockey, playoffs was fun. But there's nothing more I love than tournaments, and making those tournaments as fun as possible for the kids is just amazing. So it's absolutely great stuff right there. This is the Hockey Edmonton Show. I'm YouTube Trev. We've got Kylie joining us right now. Lyle Best will be on the way. And as always, Jeremy Halischek to my right. Okay, as always, sometimes technology doesn't work, and you got to improv, and so that's what's happening today. Lyle is a very busy man, I understand, and we were talking a little bit off air. He's very, very busy. Obviously, there's so much going on, but we do have someone that's just as good as Lyle to talk about this event, and we're going to bring him on right now. This is Chris Biddeson, VP Business Development of Quickcard. And Chris, this is super short notice, so we do apologize, but thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join our show to talk about this event. First off, quickly, can you start off by telling the audience who you are and what you do?
All right, great. Thanks for having us. We're really, really excited to be here. So my name is Chris Biddeson. I'm the VP of Business Development for Quikcard. We've been, the title sponsor of Quikcard Edmonton Minor Hockey Week for some time. So it's always an exciting 10 days for, to see all the kids and the families out there. And, we've got to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers. I mean, volunteers are timeless hours that they're spending to make all of this come together. So yeah, pretty excited as we are every year, and this year being our 25th year.
Chris, you got to talk about the necklace you're wearing.
This year, we're doing something a little bit new. Okay, so this is the Quikcard Edmonton Minor Hockey Week Special Edition, Limited Edition Player of the Game. So what we're doing with this each year is, each team is getting one. We're going to encourage everybody to upload their Player of the Game from each game. Obviously, the kids are into the big chains. Maybe so am I. I probably haven't taken this off since we actually got them in about a week ago, but that's okay. My wife has other thoughts about it, but pretty excited. The kids liked it. We kicked things off at the opening ceremonies last night with the Oil Kings. I mean, the kids are super excited to be part of this. So we're really looking forward to all the pictures and hearing stories of the tournament.
And what about what can you win with your uploaded photo?
So with the uploaded photo, you get some extra entries into a draw. We're giving away a set of 4 tickets to the Edmonton Oilers game this year. So every time a player of the game actually gets to win the necklace, they get the 5 times bonus entries. But the contest is open. We want to be open to everyone, so everyone can sign up. Then they can go ahead and visit the website. We'll give you the QR code. Kylie's got it everywhere as well. It's definitely on the back of the necklaces. Gives you the information, a couple of skill testing questions, and then we'll be entered into the draw for the tickets.
Winning player of the game is awesome as it is, but entering into the contest to get the 4-pack of Oilers tickets is so awesome. So we're really appreciative of Quikcard for doing that. That's such a great aspect for the kids to have this year. As Chris mentioned, it's new this year, the player of the game necklaces from Quikcard. So thanks, Chris. Thanks, team at Quikcard.
Yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah, for sure. And so, again, we talk about what our Quikcard being the title sponsor. Maybe you can provide a little bit of information on who Quikcard actually is and what your organization does.
Yeah, for sure. So Quikcard, we offer what's called health and wellness spending accounts. So kind of an alternative to standard, to typical insurance, or it can complement typical insurance. Basically, flexible spending for health, vision, dental, and drug claims. An alternative, you got to own a business. That's the only caveat. So if you are a business owner and you're looking to do some cost control, cost certainty, some substantial savings, a good way to offer some benefits to your employees. I mean, health and wellness is on the top of mind of everyone these days. Definitely a key thing to be on top of, especially if you are an employer and you have some employees. Got to make sure you're taking care of them as well as taking care of yourself. So We are into the health and wellness spending accounts. We have some other add-ons that go nicely with them. The employee assistance program, virtual healthcare, basically, all the products to be a complete, overall health and wellness offering.
For sure, and that's good to know for our viewers there and people that are listening to this podcast. Again, great community partner for hockey in Edmonton as a whole, and again, the history of hockey in Edmonton, they've been very tied to it. So perhaps you can explain a little bit on how this was Lyle's vision to become part of this Minor Hockey Week and such. How did the organization decide to become involved in Minor Hockey Week?
Yeah, Lyle Best being our founder, he is semi-retired or retired a little bit now. Maybe that's why he's not quite available. But he's always believed, healthy business, healthy community, right? Giving back to the community is a very important aspect. And, for us doing this for 25 years, the tournament's been around for 61. That's no small feat. And, we don't just give back to hockey. Hockey is not our only focus. We are very active in our community, and we are across the country as well. We support different charitable foundations, as well as we just truly believe that, the next generations that's coming up, the kids that are playing sports overall, the teamwork, everything that they're going to learn and the lessons they learn both on the ice and off the ice, we like to make sure that we're giving back as much as we can where we can. And it's all made possible by having customers that are willing to work with, the local business that we are still.
No, for sure. And again, I like how you touched a little bit on there. And again, for 25 years, Quikcard has been the sponsor of Minor Hockey Week. And again, we're very appreciative of all the work you do. And again, not just being, a title sponsor and putting your logo and such on there. Your organization in the year and a half that I've been here, so this is my second year Minor Hockey Week here in Edmonton, and just the involvement that yourself and your group of workers coming down to present medals, being really active part of planning this event and really driving new ideas and such to has been very beneficial. And again, just shows how important and how invested you are as an organization to see this event succeed and really be part of that community. And again, you touched a little bit on it. So why is it important for your organization to be part of this event and continue to be such an important partner for us here at Hockey Edmonton?
Well, I think it's kind of clear. You see how much time we individually come out and support it. We're not an organization that's just going to donate money unless we're not actively involved in it, right? We want to be there to support it. From presenting medals to this year, we're going to do some outdoor pond hockey as well. Looking forward to that on Saturday. It's going to be pretty exciting. And obviously finals weekend too. I'd love to go to every game, but I still have a job to do, so I can't quite do that. But again, the whole team at Quickcard, we're very family oriented. We're very, family based. It does not feel like I come to work every day to work for a giant corporation, right? We are that family, and we treat it the same as watching all these kids on the ice and playing the game. It's as if they're our families too. So always great to see the kids out there to play. Yes, there will be wins and there will also be some losses, but they usually get over it relatively quickly and we can move forward and everybody has a good time at the end of the day.
Awesome. Chris Biddeson, VP Business Development of Quikcard, on the fly. That was very last minute, but we appreciate it, man. You did amazing. Thank you so much for highlighting what Quikcard does, what this means to you guys, and you just absolutely stepped in there and crushed it, man. So huge props to you. Thanks for joining the show, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Lyle Best is our honorary chair this year. He's been a part of the event for the past quarter of a century. So maybe, Chris, we're going to have to get you
I think
those shoes, fill those shoes.
Absolutely. Yeah, he filled Lyle's shoes today and he absolutely crushed it. So that was good. Thanks again to Chris for joining in right there. But we do have to wrap up pretty shortly here. This is the final segment of the show, the wrap up. I know the Hello Hockey boys are getting set to start their program right away here. So Jeremy, I'll give it to you, maybe as fast as you can, maybe not as fast as you can, but with a little pep in your step.
Oh, no, right. For sure. And this is, like I said, we started off the program saying this is one of the most fun times of the year for all of us. All of our volunteers, all the staff absolutely love this. Our sponsors, again, we can't thank them enough. Everybody loves this event, the participants, the players, the coaches, officials, everybody loves this because it creates those lifelong memories. Again, 61 years of history. It could not be done without the hundreds of volunteers who have paved the way and the generations that have followed those original four gentlemen to today and continue to do so. Kylee mentioned that we have generations, parents, now their kids, are becoming involved in volunteering. And again, we cannot thank those that have come before us, those continue to come, and again, those that are in the future. There's always opportunities to volunteer with us. For a lot of players, this week and a half will provide them memories that last beyond their last time on the ice. Again, like I said, my kids, the kids I coached, they still remember this. The parents still remember this. Me and Greg, we still talk about our experiences coaching in minor hockey week and such, and I still can go to the arenas and see my picture up in some of the arenas with that gold medal and the smile on my face. And again, there are many that do win, and there are many that do not win. So again, that's what makes this tournament so intriguing, so important for them, is again just the experience and such. Again, Quickcard Minor Hockey Week is more than just a tournament. Kylee has highlighted a lot of things that are going on here. So the U9 program that's going on today and tomorrow, our Gretzky Awards. Thank you to the Oil Kings for the kickoff on Wednesday. And again, leading into championship weekend next weekend at Terwilliger, Saturday and Sunday, all 4 sheets of ice. Great hockey. Come on down and watch it again. $5 gets you in. Buy them at any time. So again, you're coming to the weekend this weekend, want to see some great hockey, start it off this weekend. Our games go throughout the week, and then accumulation next Saturday and Sunday again. Head on over to playhockeyedmonton.ca to see the full schedule. Results games are every day and all over the city. So again, one purchased button gets you into everything. Again, we cannot thank our volunteers enough. Again, 24 arenas, 39 sheets of ice, the arena managers, the volunteers that work with them. Again, our staff here, Kylee and Ray and Charlene, who've really been key people in driving this. And again, our great sponsors. Thank you to Quickcard for continuing to be a great partner of Hockey Edmonton and a friend of Hockey Edmonton. McDonald's, United Cycle,
Elite Promotional Marketing, Oilers, Serdachny Power Skating and Hockey, all of our hockey academies.
Oil Kings, Edmonton Oil Kings have been such a great partner as well in this, in really helping work with us and really elevating that. So again, thank you to all of them. It takes an army. We've talked about that a lot in our programs, that it takes an army to really push this organization forward. So yeah, great time of year. Hopefully, again, everybody has a great minor hockey week that is participating. Again, if you want to participate in hockey, this is one of the great reasons why Edmonton Minor Hockey Week. Hopefully, if you're on the fence for participating in hockey and through our shows, this will motivate you, another good reason to participate.
And YouTube, Trevor, you're going to come down to the finals. You got to catch an OT game.
Yes, please.
They're going to happen. It's inevitable.
Yes.
And you're going to hand out some medals.
I'd love
kids are going to love it.
Yeah,
they're going to be so excited to see you.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Sign me up. That is so
there.
cool. Like, I had so much fun just learning about this, and hope to our listeners, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube, I hope you guys learned something as well, because this was just a tremendous episode, and thank you all for tuning in. I will definitely love to be there. That would be so cool, because why not? You hear about all the amazing stuff going on, and the volunteers, even though there might be losers in this tournament, at the end of the day, everyone are winners that put this thing together, because it is such an amazing event. And that is just so cool. So thank you guys. Thank you guys to everyone tuning in. Leave a like, drop a comment down below as we read every single one. Huge shout out for Chris for stepping in there. That was absolutely amazing. And huge shout out to Kylee Quinn. You did absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining the show today. You absolutely crushed it.
Thanks for having me, boys. It's been fun.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
No, right on. Awesome, guys. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day, and cheers to the Quickcard Minor Hockey Week. This has been a great show. Take her easy, and we'll see you next week.